The massive space station known as Unity Prime hung in the void between star systems, its crystalline spires catching the light of distant suns. Inside its Grand Council chamber, representatives from dozens of species sat in heated discussion. The air hummed with translation devices working overtime as angry voices rose in multiple languages. Ambassador Zethkri of the Vorthan Empire slammed his six-fingered hand on the metallic table. His scaled face flushed a deep purple with rage. The humans refuse all our offers. Every trade proposal, every peace treaty, every attempt at diplomacy has been rejected. The insectoid delegate from the hive worlds clicked her mandibles nervously. Perhaps we have not offered enough? Their planet Earth contains resources we could provide elsewhere. You don't understand? Interrupted Council Leader Morden, her ancient voice carrying the weight of centuries. The elderly Altarian's 4 eyes focused intently on the holographic display showing Earth. These humans are unlike any species we have encountered. When they say no, they mean it. When they prepare for war, they commit fully. The chamber fell silent. Even the newest council members understood the gravity in Morden's voice. She had been present when the first human ships had appeared at the edge of known space 3 years ago. She had witnessed their first contact protocols, their measured responses, and their growing frustration with galactic politics. What exactly did they tell our last diplomatic mission? Asked the Zenthari representative, his crystalline form shimmering with anxiety. Morden activated the central display. A recording began playing, showing the meeting between Galactic Council diplomats and human representatives aboard the USS Constitution, humanity's flagship. The human admiral, a weathered man named Richardson, sat across from the alien delegation with perfect composure. Admiral Richardson, the recorded voice of Ambassador Zethkri could be heard saying, "We understand there have been ... incidents involving some of our member species and human colonists. We are prepared to offer substantial compensation and guarantee the safe relocation of all human settlements from disputed territories." Admiral Richardson had leaned back in his chair, his gray eyes studying the aliens carefully. "Ambassador, let me make something crystal clear. 3 of our colony worlds have been attacked. 15,000 civilians are dead. Another colony ship carrying families was destroyed while trying to evacuate. You're asking us to abandon our people and accept money for their lives. The attacks were unauthorized actions by radical elements," Zethkri had protested. "The Council condemns them completely. We seek peaceful resolution." "Peaceful resolution," Richardson had repeated slowly. "That's interesting, because while you've been talking peace, your member species have continued attacking our supply lines. Just yesterday, Krellin raiders hit a medical transport. So no, Ambassador, we won't be relocating. We won't be accepting compensation. And we won't be negotiating with people who protect our enemies." The recording ended, leaving the council chamber in uncomfortable silence. "He seemed reasonable enough," ventured the hive delegate. "That was 3 weeks ago," Morden replied grimly. "Since then, human military ships have been massing at the edge of their territory. Our intelligence suggests they're not preparing for defense." The implications sent ripples of fear through the assembled aliens. Humanity was still considered a minor species by galactic standards. Their technology was primitive compared to the ancient civilizations of the core worlds. But their behavior patterns were ... disturbing. Every conflict they had been involved in, no matter how small, had ended with complete human victory on Earth. In a nondescript military compound buried beneath the Colorado mountains, a very different kind of meeting was taking place. The war room was spartanly furnished, dominated by a massive holographic display showing the local galactic arm. Red markers indicated hostile alien positions. Blue showed human assets. The ratio was not encouraging. General Marcus Stone stood before the display, his scarred hands clasped behind his back. The old soldier had fought in every major conflict of the past 3 decades. His presence commanded instant respect from the assembled officers. "Gentlemen," Stone began, his voice carrying easily through the bunker, "the President has given us authorization for Operation Thunderstrike. The Alien Council thinks they can buy us off after murdering our people. They're wrong. Colonel Sarah Chun, the liaison from Space Command, stepped forward. Sir, the numbers don't look good. We're outnumbered at least 50 to 1 in terms of military vessels. Their technology advantage is significant. Numbers don't win wars, Colonel, Stone replied. Superior tactics, training, and determination do. Which brings me to why you're all here. He gestured to the dozen men seated around the conference table. Each wore the tabouret and distinctive insignia of the 75th Ranger Regiment. These were not ordinary soldiers. They were the elite of the elite, specialists in direct action missions behind enemy lines. Major Thompson, Stone addressed the senior ranger, a compact man with intelligent eyes and numerous combat decorations. Your assessment of the alien installations? Major James Thompson stood and activated a section of the holographic display. Detailed schematics of alien space stations and military bases appeared, rotating slowly to show all angles. Sir, we've analyzed the intelligence provided by our deep space reconnaissance. The aliens have centralized command structures, typical of species that have enjoyed long periods of peace. Their security is designed to prevent conventional space-based attacks, not infiltration by small teams. Thompson highlighted several key points on the display. Unity Prime, their main council station, has minimal internal security. Most of their military commands are similarly protected. They've never faced an enemy willing to fight up close and personal. Casualties? Stone asked bluntly. High probability, sir, Thompson answered without hesitation. But the mission profiles are achievable. We've trained for similar scenarios in microgravity and hostile atmospheric conditions. One of the younger Rangers, Staff Sergeant Rodriguez, raised his hand. Sir, permission to speak freely? Granted. These aliens killed our people, including civilians and children. My team is ready to deploy immediately. We don't need to wait for the politicians to figure out what they want to do. Stone smiled grimly. That's exactly the attitude we need, Sergeant. Because while the Galactic Council is preparing their next peace offer, we're going to deliver a very different kind of message. The general moved to another section of the display, showing the broader strategic picture. Phase 1 begins in 72 hours. 6 Ranger teams will be deployed via stealth insertion to key alien installations. Your objectives are not destruction of facilities, but capture of high-value targets and critical intelligence. Colonel Chun looked concerned. Sir, once we initiate hostile action, there's no going back. The aliens will respond with full military force. Let them, Stone replied coldly. Our boys have been studying alien tactics for 3 years. They think in terms of massive fleet engagements and overwhelming firepower. They don't understand asymmetric warfare. They don't know how to fight ghosts. Major Thompson nodded approvingly. Sir, my Rangers have been cross-training with Special Forces, SEALs, and Delta Force for exactly these scenarios. We're ready to show these aliens what human determination looks like up close. The briefing continued for several hours, covering insertion methods, communication protocols, and contingency planning. Each Ranger team would be equipped with the latest in human military technology, including experimental weapons designed specifically for combat in alien environments. As the meeting concluded, Stone gathered the Rangers around him. Gentlemen, I won't lie to you. This is likely a one-way mission for some of you. The aliens have superior numbers and technology, but they've made one critical error in judgment. What's that, sir? Asked Thompson. They think we're civilized. Back on Unity Prime, the Council was reaching a state of panic. Their monitoring stations had detected the sudden mobilization of human military assets. Fleets that had been scattered across human space were converging on staging areas near alien territory. They're preparing for a full-scale war, announced the intelligence chief. A nervous Rigelian whose tentacles writhed with anxiety. Our projections show they could launch coordinated strikes within days. Ambassador Zethkri paced frantically around the chamber. This is madness. They cannot possibly believe they can defeat the combined might of the Galactic Council. We have thousands of ships, millions of warriors. Perhaps, Morden said slowly, But consider this, every human military action we've observed has been preceded by extensive planning and training. They don't fight impulsively. When they commit to battle, they have already calculated their path to victory. The chamber erupted in dismissive laughter from several delegates. The idea that a young species like humanity could threaten the established galactic order seemed absurd. With respect, Council Leader, said the Xanthari representative, you overestimate these humans. Yes, they've won some minor skirmishes against pirates and raiders, but they've never faced a true military power. Morden S. expression darkened. That may be our greatest mistake. We've been thinking of humans as a minor threat. But what if we're wrong? What? The diplomatic vessel Harmony's voice approached. Earth's outer defense perimeter with its identification broadcasts transmitting on all frequencies. Inside the luxurious cabin reserved for high-ranking officials, Ambassador Zethkri reviewed his notes one final time. The peace proposal he carried represented the most generous offer in Galactic Council history. Ambassador, his aide's nervous voice crackled through the intercom. We're receiving automated responses from the human defense grid, but no direct communication from their command structure. Zethkri frowned. Human diplomatic protocols typically involved immediate acknowledgement of Council vessels. The silence was ... unusual on the bridge of the human destroyer USS Intrepid. Captain Maria Santos watched the alien ship's approach with grim satisfaction. Her orders were clear: maintain standard protocols but delay any meaningful contact until Operation Thunderstrike was underway. Captain, her communications officer reported, the alien vessel is requesting urgent diplomatic passage to Earth. They're claiming to carry a priority message from the Galactic Council. Acknowledge their transmission, Santos replied calmly. Inform them that due to heightened security concerns, all diplomatic vessels must undergo standard inspection procedures. Estimate processing time at 72 hours. The communications officer couldn't quite hide his smile. In 72 hours, the Rangers would already be deep inside alien territory, 3 solar systems away. The first phase of Operation Thunderstrike was beginning, the stealth transport. Shadow Dancer drifted silently through the asteroid field surrounding the Vorthan military complex at Kepler Station. The ship's experimental coating absorbed sensor waves while its minimal heat signature made it nearly invisible against the background radiation of Space Dot in the cargo bay. 12 Rangers performed final equipment checks in absolute silence. Major Thompson moved among his men, conducting personal inspections that were as much about morale as equipment readiness. Each soldier wore matte black powered armor that enhanced strength and provided life support in hostile environments. Comms check, Thompson whispered into his tactical microphone. Alpha Team. Green, came Staff Sergeant Rodriguez's voice. Bravo Team. Green, reported Sergeant Williams. Charlie Team. Green, confirmed Corporal Jackson. Thompson nodded to the transport pilot, who began final approach to the station. Through the cargo bay's reinforced windows, the Rangers could see the massive alien installation growing larger. Kepler Station was a fortress designed to control this entire sector of space. Its defensive systems were formidable by galactic standards. They were about to discover how they measured against human ingenuity. Insertion point in 2 minutes, the pilot announced. Station rotation brings the maintenance airlock into optimal position in 90 seconds. Thompson activated his heads-up display, reviewing the station schematic one final time. Intelligence indicated that the Vorthan Command Center was located in the station's core, protected by multiple security barriers and automated defense systems. Remember, he addressed his teams, we're not here to destroy the station. We're here to capture Admiral Kreshtar and access their military database. Quick, quiet, and by the numbers. The Rangers moved to the airlock with practiced efficiency. Each man carried weapons designed specifically for close-quarters combat in alien environments. Their ammunition was specially crafted to penetrate Vorthan armor without causing catastrophic decompression. In pressurized areas. 30 seconds, the pilot called. Thompson felt the familiar calm that came before combat. Years of training had prepared him for this moment. The alien commanders who had ordered attacks on human colonies were about to face the consequences of their actions. Go, go, go! The Rangers launched themselves from the transport with perfect precision, using magnetic grapples to cross the void between ships. Their powered armor absorbed the impact as they made contact with the station's hull, and specialized cutting tools began working immediately on the maintenance airlock. Inside Kepler Station, the night shift was conducting routine operations. The Vorthan military had grown complacent during decades of peace. Their sensors were calibrated to detect large fleet movements, not individual infiltrators using advanced stealth technology. Security Officer Vecklund was reviewing status reports when his console chimed with a minor maintenance alert. Airlock 7 was showing a pressure fluctuation, probably a faulty sensor that would need replacing during the next scheduled maintenance cycle. He logged the alert and returned to his reports, never imagining that 12 human soldiers were already inside his station. Thompson's team moved through the maintenance corridors with ghostly silence. Their armor sound dampening systems eliminated footsteps, while sophisticated scanning equipment mapped the station's internal layout in real time. The intelligence briefings had been accurate. Vorthan internal security relied heavily on automated systems rather than patrol guards. Alpha Team. Security checkpoint ahead, Rodriguez reported through the tactical network. 2 guards, automated scanner. Bravo Team, take position at intersection Delta 4, Thompson ordered. Charlie Team moved to backup position. The Rangers flowed through the station like liquid shadow. Years of training in similar environments had taught them to move as a single organism, anticipating each other's actions with outspoken communication. Rodriguez and his partner approached the security checkpoint from different angles, using the station's own architecture to mask their advance. The 2 Vorthan guards were focused on their displays, monitoring ship traffic in the surrounding space. Neither noticed the human soldiers until it was far too late. The takedown was swift and silent. Advanced restraint devices left both guards unconscious but unharmed. The Rangers had strict orders to minimize casualties among non-combatant personnel. The automated scanner was bypassed using human counter-electronics, allowing the teams to proceed deeper into the station. Command center is 3 levels up, Thompson noted, consulting his tactical display. Estimated 12 guards plus Admiral Kreshtar and his staff. The Rangers reached the command level without triggering a single alarm. Vorthan security architecture was impressive by galactic standards, but it had been designed to prevent conventional attacks, not infiltration by soldiers trained in asymmetric warfare through reinforced observation windows. Thompson could see into the command center. Admiral Kreshtar, a massive Vorthan with elaborate ceremonial markings, was discussing fleet dispositions with his staff. Holographic displays showed the positions of Council forces throughout this sector of space. Breach charges set on primary and secondary access points. Rodriguez reported. Electronic warfare package is active, added Williams. Their communication systems will be down for approximately 4 minutes once we initiate. Thompson checked his chronometer. The operation was proceeding exactly on schedule. Similar Ranger teams would be initiating their own assaults on alien installations throughout Council space within the next hour. Execute. The command center's reinforced doors exploded inward simultaneously, filling the room with smoke and debris. Emergency lighting activated as the main power systems were disrupted by human electronic warfare devices. In the chaos and confusion, the Rangers moved with deadly precision. Admiral Kreshtar spun toward the primary breach point, his hand reaching for the emergency communicator at his belt. He never reached it. A Ranger appeared behind him as if materializing from the shadows, and a neural disruptor rendered the alien commander unconscious before he could cry out. The entire engagement lasted less than 30 seconds. Command center secure, Thompson reported. Primary target acquired. Beginning data extraction. While 2 Rangers guarded the entrances, the rest of the team connected human-computer interfaces to the alien command systems. Years of intelligence gathering had provided detailed knowledge of Vorthan data architectures. and specialized programs began copying military databases at maximum speed. "Sir," Rodriguez called from one of the display consoles. "You need to see this." Thompson moved to the indicated station, where alien text was being translated in real time by human linguistic software. What he read made his blood run cold. "Jesus Christ," he whispered. The Vorthan military files contained detailed plans for what they called final pacification, the complete destruction of all human colonies, and the capture of Earth itself. The timeline showed preparation for massive fleet movements within the next 72 hours. "Get everything," Thompson ordered grimly, "and prep the Admiral for transport. Command needs to see this intelligence immediately." Across the galaxy, similar scenes were playing out on a dozen alien installations. Ranger teams moved through Xanthari research facilities, Rigelian command posts, and Hive-world coordination centers with lethal efficiency. Each mission had been planned down to the minute, accounting for alien psychology, architecture, and defensive capabilities. The aliens had made the mistake of underestimating human military doctrine. They expected formal declarations of war, massive fleet engagements, and conventional strategies. Instead, they were facing an Unity Prime had been the symbol of galactic civilization for over 1,000 years. The massive station orbited a neutron star in neutral space, its crystalline spires reaching out like fingers toward distant galaxies. Inside its halls, the greatest minds from hundreds of worlds had gathered to maintain peace and order throughout known space. None of them had ever imagined that 12 human soldiers would be planning to walk through its front door. Major Thompson studied the station's defensive grid from the bridge of the stealth transport Phantom Strike. Unity Prime was protected by energy shields that could deflect capital ship weapons, automated defense platforms capable of tracking objects moving at significant fractions of light speed, and sensor networks sensitive enough to detect a single atom of foreign matter. "Sir," Rodriguez asked quietly, "how exactly are we supposed to get inside that thing?" Thompson smiled grimly. "The same way we've been getting inside everything else, Sergeant. We use their own assumptions against them." He activated the tactical display, highlighting a section of the station's lower docking areas. Unity Prime receives approximately 300 diplomatic and supply vessels per day. Each ship undergoes automated security screening, but the aliens are looking for weapons, explosives, and contraband. They're not looking for people. The Rangers studied the plan with professional appreciation. It was audacious, technically complex, and completely insane by any conventional military standard, which meant it was exactly the kind of operation that had made human forces legendary throughout this sector of space. "Gear check in 30 minutes, Thompson announced. "This time we're not just extracting intelligence. We're delivering a message." On Unity Prime's main council floor, emergency sessions had been running continuously for 18 hours. The simultaneous strikes on alien installations had sent shockwaves throughout galactic civilization. Never in recorded history had a single species launched such a coordinated assault on the established order. "The humans have captured 17 senior military commanders," reported the intelligence chief, his voice hoarse from constant briefings. "Admiral Kreshtar, General Vexthal, and Fleet Commander Kersing are all missing, along with complete databases of our military capabilities." Council leader Morden felt as though she had aged a century in the past day. Around her, delegates who had spent their careers managing peaceful trade disputes were struggling to comprehend the reality of facing an enemy that fought without rules, without formal declarations, and without mercy for those who threatened their people. "Have we received any communication from Earth?" she asked. "Nothing, honored leader. Their diplomatic vessel continues to delay our peace envoy with bureaucratic procedures, while their military forces have apparently vanished back into the void." Ambassador Zethkri stood to address the chamber, his ceremonial robes disheveled from hours of crisis management. "Council leader, I propose we immediately mobilize the full military might of all member worlds. The humans may have achieved some initial tactical successes, But they cannot possibly stand against the combined fleets of the galaxy. And how many ships can we field? Morden asked quietly. Conservative estimates suggest nearly 10,000 vessels of various classes with over 2 million trained personnel. The numbers should have been reassuring. By any rational calculation, humanity was facing impossible odds. Yet Morden felt no comfort in their numerical superiority. "Intelligence Chief," she called, "what is our assessment of human military capabilities?" The nervous Rigelian consulted his data tablets frantically. Based on observed engagements, human vessels appear technically inferior to Council standards. Their weapon systems are primitive, their defensive capabilities limited, and their fleet size numbers in the hundreds rather than thousands. "Then why?" Morden asked with deadly calm. "Do I feel as though we are about to lose this war?" The chamber fell silent. Every delegate present understood that they were facing something unprecedented. In galactic history, a species that seemed to achieve impossible victories through methods no one could predict or counter. "Perhaps," ventured the Hive representative, "we should consider the humans' demands. Their colonies have legitimate grievances against some of our member species." "Their demands?" Zethkri snarled. "They haven't made any demands. They've simply begun attacking our installations without negotiation or communication. This is not the behavior of a civilized species seeking justice." "No," Morden replied slowly. "It's the behavior of a species that has moved beyond seeking justice to delivering it personally." Her words sent a chill through the assembled delegates. The implications were terrifying. Humanity had apparently concluded that the Galactic Council was incapable of providing justice for attacks on human colonies, and had decided to handle the matter themselves. "Council leader," the intelligence chief interrupted urgently, "we're detecting an approaching vessel on long-range sensors. Configuration appears to be human, but the energy signature is ... unusual." The main display activated, showing a sleek craft approaching Unity Prime through normal traffic lanes. To casual observation, it appeared to be a standard diplomatic vessel, flying proper identification codes and following established approach protocols. "It's probably another peace envoy," Zethkri suggested hopefully. "Perhaps the humans are finally ready to negotiate." Morden studied the approaching ship with growing unease. Something about its perfectly normal appearance felt wrong. After witnessing human tactical capabilities, she had learned to distrust anything that seemed too straightforward. "Double the station's security alert level," she ordered, "and scan that vessel with everything we have." 20 kilometers from Unity Prime, the human vessel Diplomatic Immunity continued its leisurely approach to the docking facilities. Its hull configuration and energy readings matched those of standard diplomatic transports used by dozens of species throughout the galaxy inside its modified cargo bay. 12 Rangers made final preparations for the most audacious military operation in human history. Their powered armor had been painted matte black and equipped with the latest in human stealth technology. Weapons were loaded with specialized ammunition designed to function in the station's diverse atmospheric zones. "Docking in 15 minutes, the pilot announced. "Station security is running standard scans, but our modifications are holding up." Major Thompson reviewed the mission parameters one final time. They had studied Unity Prime's internal layout for months, memorized the locations of critical systems, and planned contingencies for dozens of possible scenarios. The objective was simple: reach the main council chamber and deliver humanity's response to the aliens' war plans. "Remember," he addressed his teams, "we are not terrorists. We are soldiers carrying out a military operation against enemy combatants who have declared war on our species. Minimum casualties among civilian personnel, maximum impact on military and political leadership." The transport docked with Unity Prime's civilian port with perfect smoothness. Automated systems began routine cargo and passenger screening while the Rangers waited in specially shielded compartments designed to defeat alien sensor technology. "Inspection complete," came the announcement. All passengers and cargo cleared for station entry. Thompson activated his tactical communicator. "All teams initiate infiltration protocol." We are now inside the most heavily defended installation in galactic space. Do not disappoint your species. The Rangers emerged from their concealment and began moving through Unity Prime's civilian areas with practiced stealth. Their intelligence had identified maintenance passages, service quarters, and security blind spots throughout the massive station. What should have been an impossible infiltration became a carefully choreographed dance through alien architecture. Alpha Team. Civilian evacuation route secured, Rodriguez reported. Bravo Team. Emergency communication systems disabled, Williams confirmed. Charlie Team. Security Command Center isolated, Jackson added. Thompson felt the familiar calm of combat operations settling over him. Everything was proceeding according to plan, which meant they had approximately 10 minutes before something went catastrophically wrong. In the main council chamber, delegates were still debating response options when every emergency alarm on the station began sounding simultaneously. The massive holographic displays flickered and died as power fluctuations rippled through Unity Prime systems. "What's happening?" Zethkri demanded. "Unknown," the intelligence chief replied frantically. "We're losing communication with security stations throughout the facility. Emergency protocols are activating, but response teams aren't reaching their assigned positions." Morden stood slowly, her ancient instincts recognizing a carefully coordinated attack. "Seal the council chamber. Activate maximum security protocols. And send an immediate priority message to all council fleets. Council leader, the communication systems are down. Then send runners to the docking bays. Use whatever means necessary, but warn our military commanders that Unity Prime is under attack." The council chamber's reinforced doors began sealing as automated defenses activated throughout the station. Energy barriers appeared at strategic choke points while armed security teams mobilized to repel the